Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a woman and felt that strange electric pull, like her body was saying something her words never could? Maybe she played with her hair, tilted her neck slightly, leaned closer than she needed to. You thought it was random, but it wasn't. What you felt was the language of desire, spoken in silence. Here's the truth most men never realize. When a woman's body becomes an instrument of attraction, it's not just about lust, it's about control, instinct, and emotion colliding in real time. Every subtle move, her eyes flicking to your lips, her voice dropping a little lower, her pupils widening, is her subconscious evaluating you. She's not trying to be seductive. Her body is simply reacting to what her emotions can't suppress. And before we go deeper into this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video, because I promise you what I'm about to share will completely shift how you see female attraction forever. Now here's the uncomfortable part. Many men confuse attention with interest, but attraction, true, physical, chemical attraction, isn't something she decides, it's something she feels. When a woman feels drawn to you, her body betrays her composure. Her breathing slows but deepens. Her posture softens. She exposes the most vulnerable areas, her neck, wrists, and collarbone, without even realizing it. These are ancient primal cues meant to signal openness and trust. But here's the paradox. The more you chase those signals, the faster they vanish. The second she senses that you're decoding her body too eagerly, her subconscious shifts from attraction to defense. Because for her, desire thrives in mystery. The moment she feels seen through, the magic dies. So, if you've ever wondered why things felt intense one moment and distant the next, it's not your imagination. Her attraction wasn't fake, it was fragile. It existed in that thin space between curiosity and comfort. And most men destroy it because they can't hold their composure in the presence of a woman whose energy stirs them. What you're about to learn next isn't about reading signs. It's about understanding what drives them. Once you grasp that, her signals won't confuse you anymore. They'll start to reveal what she truly craves, but will never say aloud. Now let's talk about the subtle, almost invisible cues that separate lust from mere friendliness. Most men completely overlook them, or worse, they misinterpret them and ruin every opportunity. I'm going to break it down for you in a way that few men ever understand, because it's not taught in books, and it's not something women openly explain. It's instinctual. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, her body begins to mirror yours without her realizing it. She leans when you lean, tilts her head when you tilt yours. Her gestures synchronize with yours. This isn't coincidence. It's her subconscious aligning with your energy, a primal way of showing connection. It's subtle, but once you notice it, it becomes unmistakable. Men who are blind to this never know when she's truly drawn in. Another key signal is touch. Soft, fleeting, almost accidental touches. Her hand brushing yours? That's not random. It's her body testing chemistry, gauging how you respond. Even the way she crosses her legs, exposing one side of her body toward you, is a silent invitation. Most men see a leg crossed and think it's just comfort. But in reality, it's a body language cue signaling curiosity, attraction, and openness. Then there's eye contact. Not just a glance, but the kind of gaze that lingers slightly too long, the eyes dilating in response to your presence. That is pure, unfiltered desire. Her subconscious is telling her brain, pay attention, this man matters. If you notice it and remain calm, composed, and confident, you can amplify that attraction. Panic, overanalyze, or misread it, and she will pull back instinctively. Voice is another overlooked signal. Listen closely. When she lowers her pitch, slows her speech, or laughs softly at things she normally wouldn't, it's not coincidence. Her body is communicating safety, receptiveness, and yes, desire. Every subtle change is part of a language her mind can't fully control, a language most men never learn to understand. But here's the catch. This attraction is delicate. It thrives on tension and restraint. If you come on too strong, if you comment on her gestures or try to force intimacy, her body recoils before her mind even has a chance to explain why. Understanding this is what separates men who are noticed from men who are forgotten. Pay attention to these hidden signals. They're everywhere. And once you learn to read them correctly, you'll see patterns in women's behavior that reveal what she wants without a word being spoken. This knowledge gives you a power most men will never have, a silent advantage in the game of attraction. Let's dive into the signals most men completely misread, the ones that seem innocent but are loaded with hidden meaning. Here's the truth. Women's bodies tell a story her lips may never speak, and if you miss the story, you'll never truly understand her desire. Start with posture. When she's standing or sitting in your presence, notice if her chest subtly leans forward or if her shoulders relax in your direction. These micro movements aren't random. They're her subconscious signaling that she's engaged, curious, and open to connection. She's not thinking, "I want to attract him." Her body simply reacts before her brain even weighs in. That's why it's so easy for men to misread these cues as friendliness. The difference is in the subtlety, the timing, the consistency, and the slight repetition of her gestures. Then there's the way she moves her hair. When a woman touches her hair while looking at you, it's not vanity. It's a primal signal, exposing the neck, playing with strands, brushing them behind her shoulder. These gestures are linked to vulnerability and invitation. Her body is saying without words, "I'm comfortable enough to let you see this side of me." Notice how she doesn't just do it once. There's rhythm, almost like an unconscious dance to test your reaction. Facial expressions are another layer, a fleeting smile, a half smile, a tilt of the lips while maintaining eye contact. They all reveal internal excitement. But here's the nuance. It's not just the smile itself. It's the microsecond before and after, the way her gaze lingers and then flickers. That hesitation, that subtle tension, is the doorway to understanding what she's really feeling. Men who focus only on the obvious signs, loud laughter, obvious flirtation, miss the signals that matter most. Breathing patterns reveal desire too. When a woman is attracted, her breathing changes, slightly deeper, slightly faster, almost imperceptible if you're not paying attention. This is her body's way of preparing for intimacy, a physiological response that predates thought. Most men never notice it, but it's one of the clearest signals of genuine interest. And here's the most dangerous trap: overanalyzing these cues. Attraction is not a checklist. It's fluid, dynamic, and often contradictory. The moment you start trying to decode it like a puzzle, you risk freezing the very energy she's projecting. Your job is not to control her response. It's to recognize it, respect it, and mirror calm confidence. When you master the art of observing without intruding, you enter a rare space where her signals become invitations, not mysteries. This is where desire grows naturally, without force, without pressure, and without losing your own power. Now let's explore the hidden forces behind her gestures, why her body language can feel almost magnetic, yet completely confusing. You've probably experienced it. One moment she's leaning in, laughing, her eyes locked on you, and the next, she pulls back slightly, leaving you questioning everything. That push and pull isn't accidental. It's wired into her psychology, her survival instincts, and yes, her desire. Here's the first truth. Women are biologically hardwired to signal interest subtly and to protect themselves simultaneously. The micro-pulls, the slight withdrawal, the coy glance, they're her brain's way of testing the waters. Her body is negotiating attraction while maintaining a sense of safety. Most men interpret hesitation as disinterest, but the reality is far more complex. That tiny pause, that slight shift away from you, is often the most powerful sign of fascination. It's her subconscious asking, how will he respond if I show desire but remain just out of reach? Next, pay attention to the small, almost imperceptible touches. Her fingers brushing against her lips, her hand resting lightly near yours, her foot angling toward your direction. They're like subtle Morse code. She's signaling curiosity and receptivity, but it's delicate. The key is not to act like every touch demands action. If you overstep, the attraction evaporates. If you remain calm, attentive, and composed, her body will continue to signal and even escalate interest naturally. Another layer is the voice. Subtle changes in pitch, pace, or tone are unconscious indicators of desire. A slight drop in pitch, a softer laugh, or a slower cadence. Those are primal signals of receptiveness. Most men hear these changes but dismiss them as inconsequential. That's a mistake. Your awareness of these nuances is what separates the men who are noticed from the men who are unforgettable. Eye contact is perhaps the most potent tool in her silent language. The way she looks at you can ignite a feeling you didn't know existed. Extended glances, pupils slightly dilated, small flickers away and back again. Her eyes are telling a story of intrigue and anticipation. And again, it's not conscious. She's not trying to manipulate you. She's responding to your energy and presence. Finally, the combination of all these cues, posture, micro-touch, voice, gaze, creates an invisible tension that either draws you in or pushes you away. Understanding this tension, respecting it, and responding with calm confidence is what most men never grasp. It's the invisible currency of attraction, the unspoken contract her body forms with yours before a single word is spoken. When you can read this language instinctively, without overanalyzing or forcing outcomes, you step into a rare realm of influence, where attraction flows naturally, intensely, and irresistibly. Now let's go deeper into the psychology that fuels these signals, because understanding the why behind her body language is what transforms observation into real power. Attraction is never random. It's a reaction to subtle energy, confidence, and emotional rhythm. Women respond to men who trigger instinctive fascination without trying to force it. Think of her body language like a window into her nervous system. Every gesture, every shift in posture, every fleeting glance reflects her internal state. When she leans in, it's a sign of curiosity, but it also signals safety. She's subconsciously deciding whether you're someone she can trust with her vulnerability. When she touches her lips, plays with her hair, or subtly exposes her neck or collarbone, her body is signaling availability, but in a guarded, controlled way. She is testing your awareness and your patience. One of the most misunderstood elements is the role of tension. Women instinctively balance attraction with restraint. The slight pause before a smile, the gentle recoil after a touch, the soft shift in stance. These micro-movements are not games. They're biology in action, a way to regulate desire while protecting emotional boundaries. Men who panic at this tension lose their chance. Men who remain composed, confident, and observant amplify the attraction. Your reaction, or lack of reaction, speaks louder than your words. Another critical element is energy matching. Her body will subconsciously mirror your energy level. Calm, grounded, confident energy evokes openness and subtle physical invitations. High-strung or anxious energy triggers withdrawal. Her gestures, her breathing, and even the rhythm of her speech are responding to your presence before she even knows it. This is why a man who masters his inner state can naturally draw her in without overt effort. Finally, there's the element of mystery. Her attraction peaks when she senses a mix of availability and unavailability. She'll subtly signal interest and then pull back slightly, creating a push-pull dynamic that ignites curiosity and desire. Understanding this is crucial. Do not chase, do not over-explain, and do not react impulsively. Her body is speaking a silent language. Your ability to understand it without breaking the rhythm is the difference between being memorable and being forgotten. When you internalize this knowledge, you stop seeing her body language as confusing signals and start seeing it as a map, a roadmap that shows exactly what she is feeling, what she is curious about, and where desire is building. You gain a rare insight into the hidden forces driving female attraction, and from this understanding, you step into a level of influence most men will never experience. Now, let's bring it all together. The hidden forces, the subtle cues, the micro-movements you've learned to notice. This is where observation becomes mastery. When you can read her body language, understand the psychology behind it, and respond with calm, grounded confidence, you step into a rare level of influence, one that most men will never even glimpse. Start by seeing patterns rather than isolated signals. A fleeting glance or a casual touch may seem meaningless, but when repeated, consistent, and paired with other cues, mirrored posture, voice changes, micro-expressions, they form a story. Her body is revealing attraction, curiosity, and even desire without a single word. The mistake most men make is acting on a single gesture, rushing the interaction, or misreading subtlety as indifference. The key is patience, awareness, and self-control. Next, understand timing. Desire grows in tension, not in immediate gratification. Her body will signal, withdraw slightly, then signal again. This rhythm is not accidental. It's her subconscious testing whether you can match her energy, respect her space, and maintain composure. If you overreach, the moment evaporates. If you stay present, calm, and confident, her signals intensify, creating an irresistible pull. Remember, attraction is as much about your internal state as hers. Women respond to men who radiate confidence, mystery, and grounded energy. Your presence becomes a catalyst for her subconscious signals. If your mind is anxious, impatient, or overly eager, you disrupt the natural flow of her body language. If you are calm, observant, and subtle in your responses, her body will continue to communicate, revealing her genuine interest. Finally, realize this is about influence, not manipulation. Understanding these hidden forces is not about tricking her. It's about recognizing the natural language of attraction and responding in a way that aligns with her subconscious cues. When you do this, desire is no longer confusing. It becomes a dialogue, silent yet profoundly clear. Her eyes, her posture, her voice, they all speak volumes if you're willing to listen and respond appropriately. This knowledge transforms the way you perceive interactions with women. You move from guessing, chasing, and misreading signals to seeing exactly what is happening beneath the surface. You gain insight into attraction that most men never have. And with this understanding comes the power to connect deeply, effortlessly, and magnetically. You now hold the secret. The hidden forces behind a lustful woman's body language are always speaking. They're just waiting for you to understand. When you do, everything changes.